Bitcoin is exactly pumping like we have been predicting for days right now. And on today's video, I will talk about my price targets, where I think Bitcoin is going towards, why it is pumping right now here, and many more important charts that are telling us something about where Bitcoin is heading towards next. Of course, I will be also discussing the news regarding the Bitcoin spot ETF approval, because we've got some very important news we need to discuss right now that will tell us something about what we're going to be seeing in the coming 24 to 30 hours, what is going to be the window for the Bitcoin spot ETF acceptance. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button back above 600 likes on today's update video. That will be an absolute pleasure. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And yes, guys, first of all, I quickly want to be stating, in this entire region on the lower side, if you have been subscribed to the channel, you've been absolutely winning like crazy, because yes, in this entire region below, I've been stating on my YouTube channel that this is a bear trap and you shouldn't get fooled, because you have to understand the bigger perspective with the Bitcoin spot ETF. People are not going to necessarily sell it. No, it's going to be another run up. And just make sure to stick in the video, because I'm going to also talk about where we're going to be heading towards from off this point. So we saw that Bitcoin create this massive consolidation phase, and we exactly broke above the downward sloping resistance line. And yes, we exactly broke above this trend here. We were basically forming lower highs every single time, and at this point we confirmed that higher low, and that was also the point where we were breaking above this very important horizontal level I also discussed in yesterday's video. You can clearly see we broke above this level, flipped it into support, and after retesting it, we had that extreme big blast towards the upside. And currently, if we're looking at the Bitcoin price action, let's say we're going to see a slight pullback. What is the level where I will be very interested? It is going to be this 45.7k level, because previously around, this was the level that provided massive resistance, and if we can't hold that level, it's going to be 55.3k. So these are two very important levels if Bitcoin were to be coming down, where I will be interested on even opening up bigger positions on Bitcoin. But definitely, right now, we're already seeing that first leg towards the upside. And we can even see that right now on the imminent short term, we're creating a new consolidation phase. And maybe you could be approaching it differently, that we're even creating a bull flag pattern for Bitcoin right now here. So there are different kinds of patterns currently emerging. But where I should definitely look towards is the downward sloping resistance line and the downward sloping support line. And of course, we could potentially break this upward sloping support line right here, because I don't really think that the touch points are good enough here. So this is at the levels that I'm currently looking at. And of course, if Bitcoin does decide to be breaking resistance, we could potentially start to see the next move getting initiated. But you have to understand that these moves on Bitcoin are really getting initiated due to the news. And of course, the news is, of course, that the Bitcoin spot ETF is around the corner, that it is about to be happening. And I've been stating this for days in a row right now here, that yes, most likely in this news era, Bitcoin is just gonna go up here. Because yes, people are going to get super excited. But the reason why we moved towards the upside yesterday is, first of all, due to the fact that Van Eck bought more than 72 million US dollars in Bitcoin to seed its ETF. So of course, if they're buying Bitcoin from the market, it is going to be increasing buy pressure. And also another reason why we had this massive surge towards the upside was due to the fact that Gary Gensler literally wrote a thread about Bitcoin. He wrote a thread about Bitcoin and what you need to have to keep in mind if you were to be investing in it. So if this isn't a sign that the ETF is going to get accepted, what is, honestly? And also yesterday, we got all these ETFs basically refiling for their fee structure. And also someone said, due to the additional comments from the SEC, it is most likely going to be a delay. But this is not what James Stafford is thinking. He said, yes, indeed, it's true. We are indeed getting these comments back here, but he is still expecting to see more amendments coming towards the market today, so on Tuesday. And then he still thinks it's going to get accepted on Wednesday. So what he is saying, and he is a Bloomberg ETF specialist, what he basically is saying is that today we're probably going to see some more amendments, and then tomorrow we're going to get the Bitcoin spot ETF accepted. So that is what we're looking at for right now here. I think tomorrow is going to be a gigantic day for Bitcoin. Today is still going to be a day where we're going to be having some calm before the storm. So yeah, you can clearly see, I discussed this also in yesterday's video. I said, once we break above the red box here, guys, then I think we're going to go absolutely exponential. And it was definitely a very good word to use for it, because yeah, literally once we broke above the red box, and if you've been subscribed to the channel, you know it. Yeah, I've been saying this, but we went also very much exponential exponential because you can just clearly see on how important this red box here is for Bitcoin. Basically, for the last 2.5 months, we've been getting rejected by this level. So this is just a very important level to be paying attention towards. So looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, of course, I discussed this in every single video. Right now, there's not necessarily a big amount of liquidity above us or below us, so I can't really make my opinion about it. But of course, we have been making so much money from off this indicator all along, because every single time I've been seeing that there's a big amount of liquidity piling up above us or below us, I point it out, and almost every single time Bitcoin tends to be moving towards it. At the same time, the funding rates is becoming a little bit higher, what is definitely a sign of worry, but it is not high at all, so it's still looking quite okay here. And honestly, it is still suggesting Bitcoin could go much higher from off this point onwards. And of course, I discussed this as well, guys. We're still holding up the daily support line. That is a very good thing here. And right now also we're seeing another breakout from this potential ascending triangle, where we first of all saw a massive fake out from, and we got more rejections here before, but right now we're clearly breaking out with a confirmed candle towards the upside. So if you want to be trading yourself here, guys, make sure to check out BYBIT, because BYBIT allows you to get a 40,000 US dollar deposit bonus. And on top of that, you could claim a free 1,000 US dollar position. And all you need to do for this position is literally, this is the only thing you need to do, is go to the link description of today's video, sign up an account using that link below, deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and complete KYC level 1. And then you could claim this insane free 1,000 US dollar trade. And yeah, make sure to sign up using that link below, because it's only valid if you use that link, but definitely a massive win-win situation. And honestly, if you can't use KYC on BYBIT, make sure to check out Femex, where you can trade without KYC, and they're giving you literally a 10% cashback on everything you're depositing. So yeah, I just got a message from someone who I'm working with on Femex, and we distributed more than 40,000 US dollars in the last month. So if you want to be using Femex and get the 10% cashback, make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. Going further in towards the content, we can currently see, and I stated this also on the previous videos, is that the Tether market cap is going exponentially up, and usually once the Tether market cap goes up, Bitcoin tends to be following. And once again, this is exactly like we have been seeing over here. You have to understand the bigger perspective. If there's just more liquidity in the market tends to go up here. So if Tether prints a couple billion US dollars, yeah, most likely the market is going to go up here. So make sure next time, if we are seeing Tether is printing a significant amount of money, you know you should be paying attention towards it. Further on, we can see the daily EMA ribbon still holding strong on Bitcoin. And of course, here on the 3-day time frame, we're having this massive breakout of this symmetrical triangle. And honestly, this is just the beginning. I've stated this several times before here, that we're just in the beginning stage here of this next big breakout. I mean, if you're zooming out on Bitcoin, you can see that the big resistance in the past was, of course, this high in the market right here. This high in the market right here. So this was the high we couldn't break above of, and this was the high where we got a massive rejection from. And look about what level we're currently retesting. We're literally retesting that previous high in the market. So are we right now at a very important stage in the market? Yes, we are. You can clearly see it also in the weekly time frame. We are literally trading at massive weekly resistance, also at massive 3-day resistance, but we are currently just sitting at the pivotal point in Bitcoin. But once again, I want to be pointing this out here again, because the real reason why Bitcoin is moving right now is not necessarily because of the technicals. No, it's because of the news that is currently having such a big role in Bitcoin. Because honestly, if I were to be looking at this region without the news and without the narrative here on the daily time frame, I would have been quite bearish if we didn't have this pump right here, right? So we're creating some bearish momentum on the daily time frame, but I do understand that once the ETF gets accepted, we're probably going to go see even more upside for Bitcoin. So it's also that you have to understand the fundamental reasons why to be bullish or bearish, but also the technical reasons. So it's a little bit of a combination between both, and I totally understand that. So that is why it's important to subscribe to the channel right now, because this was it for you in today's update video. Tomorrow I will be back with another update, and tomorrow's the day where the Bitcoin spot ETF is going to get accepted. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, smash up the bell notification, because if the ETF gets accepted, I will straight away make an update video for you guys out there and potentially even go live here. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out. Goodbye.